A mystery spaceship falls into a lake near Seoul, Korea, as the film begins. It looks like it came from another galaxy. A person in no clothing eventually makes their way out and towards the city after some time. The next scene introduces us to a newlywed couple who are madly in love with one another. Despite having a very busy schedule, the husband, Gil, is a dedicated and intelligent man who does all the housework. His wife, on the other hand, he is therefore always shopping and conversing with her pals. She regards herself as the world's luckiest woman. She attends the eagerly anticipated high school reunion later that evening, expecting for 3 years. She slips and falls down the stairs, revealing one of her classmates, Yang Sun, whose ambition is to become an actress. She tries to cover up her shame by saying that she did it on purpose to prepare for her next action roles. As the discussion between the school pals progresses, Yang Sun queries so high about her marital status. Our main character's daughter replies favorably, praising her husband as an appealing, knowledgeable, and committed person who runs a pharmaceutical company. A short while later, the group begins to discuss one of their former students, Sarah, who they learned served time in jail after killing her husband. How come she did it? She supposedly caught him infidelity. After the reunion party, he stayed out late with other women. As a result, when he got home, her husband was sound asleep. She sees a missed call from an unknown number on his phone as she gets closer to him. When she looks into it more, she finds a number of messages, one of which refers to a future encounter with Man Guy. She begins to worry about her husband having an extramarital affair on Friday as planned. To support her suspicions, she searches online for signs that someone is having an extramarital affair. According to one of the websites, these individuals always offer the pretext that they are working extra hours. In Sobi's reading, she is disappointed as she previously used Mange as a justification for this. My husband puts in more hours to support my extravagant lifestyle. I should execute him the following morning. She purposefully inquires about Gil's plans for Friday, asking him to a gathering for married couples. Gil declines, claiming to have a funeral to attend in order to bolster his lie. After hearing this statement, he alleges that the doctor told him that precise Friday would bring about the passing of one of his buddies. His misgivings thus almost become certainty, but she still wants a second opinion, so she calls Dr. Jang, a detective, for help. She pays him well and instructs him to watch out for her spouse. In the next, Dr. Jang sets off on his quest to follow Telman Gil and keep an eye on his actions. He meets with her after thoroughly monitoring him for a full day, sharing all of his findings with her. He admits that Gil went to the golf course first, before working out constantly for 2 hours at the gym. But he always encountered women wherever he went. Dr. Jang continues by saying that Man Gil has had several wives, all of whom are either deceased or missing. He also has 3 other marriage certificates in addition to her own, which is surprising, died, etc. The most absurd fact is that Miguel was drinking petrol worth $30 when Miguel was seen by the witness at a petrol station. She rushes out of the room because the amount of knowledge is too much for his naive brain to handle. She thinks about killing her husband that night when he is sleeping, but she quickly flees feeling helpless. After hearing her friend Sarah's story, she even declares her intention to have her husband killed. A perfect husband does not exist, says Sarah, who has gone through 4 divorces herself. Additionally, she dispels the rumor that she killed her own husband, although she claims that he deserved to die as a result of his crimes. Gil is surreptitiously contaminating the water at home, with the intended result. He pays a ransom in anticipation of killing his wife the next day. Visit to the office of Dr. Yang. The latter starts to worry that Man Gil might not be a typical human being during their chat because he doesn't understand. He suggests that her husband might be a mutant race from another planet and displays the book Unbreakable to her. Is Dr. Jang on the mark? Dr. Jang claims to have dealt with cases similar to hers in the past, but because all of his clients from such situations either Drobe and Guy Gil thinks their home has been broken into. Dr. Jang was laying there when he cautiously entered the room and opened the wardrobe. The doctor unexpectedly opens his eyes and shows that he is still alive. However, Gil, who sees him as an intruder, quickly knocks him out again in an effort to cover up their crime. The 3 girls cunningly propose that Gil bury the corpse. However, when they're about to depart from Man Gil's, alien companions show up at their home with the intention of helping them dispose of his body as planned. But because their first plan didn't go out as they had hoped, they pretend to throw Gil a surprise party. He advises them to wait until they get back before entering and ordering beverages. The 3 females then proceed to bury Dr. Jang in a neighboring woodland. Gil begins digging the grave later. He is thus struck with a shovel and knocked out. The two bodies are then hastily buried together by the girls. They are shocked when the alien suddenly emerges from the ground and demonstrates his invincibility. He panics, and the girls flee. However, the obstinate alien starts after them with his superhuman abilities and soon catches up to them as they are driving away in the direction of their automobile. Ultimately, the automobile hits a rock, sending the driver falling down a slope. The girls, on the other hand, are perfectly unhurt. The group is forced to leave after learning that Gill's companions had perished as a result of the poisoned wine in the next scene. They pack the corpses into their car, with plans to bury them as well. However, when they approach the woodland, they are detained at a checkpoint by police who quickly learn that they are intoxicated from drinking. By Dr. Dragging, I mean. As a result, the Yang brought to the police department. Dr. Jang is then brought to the same station shortly after. It turns out that he has once more survived, but all of his memories have been erased. The cops think he is a homeless man who was mute after receiving the electric shock. Gill, who is also revealed to be alive, climbs the hill and arrives in an unknown house. He discovers many fuel-filled containers there immediately after he finishes them. His wounds miraculously recover, getting him healthy again. He then makes his way to the police station where he takes out a phone loan. Therefore, when he hears the phone nearby ring, he swiftly notices the three girls hiding behind him and seizes the opportunity. Seeing an opportunity, he bails them out and introduces them as his pals. As they leave the police station, he takes Dr. Jang as well, offering to dump them off at the closest shelter. Manji exhibits his actual self and wants to murder. He and her pals are now terrified, and Sarah pulls a knife out to stab the alien in the head, but it makes no difference. Their car flips and slides off a cliff due to the pandemonium. Thankfully, the girls were able to flee with only minor wounds. The extraterrestrial then follows them as they depart the area. When the XCOM detectives first start looking through the debris at the crash site for Manjil, they find nothing. Dr. Jang and take him and them. The girls seek safety from the alien in an abandoned building in the meantime, but Gill has an exceptional sense of smell, making it easy for him to find them just as he is about to kill them. He then follows the XCOM detectives to the location. The two sides get into a heated argument. Gill, however, defeats the officers one by one using his superior strength. The three girls manage to escape the structure during the commotion and make their way to the detective's car, where they found Jang. The doctor immediately gives them the antidote he created against the aliens after it appears that some of his lost memories have returned. So he boldly injects the antidote from behind into the body of Gill, killing him, to pass away, putting an end to the uncomfortable situation. The focus then turns to a year later, where Sohee, Sarah, and Yang's son can be seen interacting. They appear to have moved past the upsetting incidents from the previous year. All of them are single and plan to remain so for the rest of their lives. The film concludes as Dr. Jang, who has fully recovered by this point, shows up with flowers and joins them in their joyful moments. I assume Dr. Frindon. For more content like this, subscribe, activate notifications, and depart similarly to support the channel. I appreciate your attention.